connected, and my hair looks crazy because I just dived out of my chair and ran and got my eye.
You look fabulous, man. You look fabulous.
Everybody, and welcome to Thrive. I'm Susanna Kennedy, and I'm super excited to have an extraordinary human being who I'm lucky enough to call my friend, Ard Mathews. Welcome. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Finally, Telkom and Eskom allowing.
I know. We were just talking about Eskom's a push just now because I've had to read up so many things because of this. And it's so funny. Whenever I speak to my followers that are internationals, they go, "What are you talking about? What do you mean they just cut off your electricity for hours?"
No, it's crazy.
They don't understand.
Yeah. They don't realize that the struggle is real. I also interviewed a band from Canada yesterday called Neon Dreams, and they had to do a live stream that was stopped because they said they've never heard of it before. And I was like, "Yep, welcome to Africa, man."
Yeah, it's real. The struggle is real. Well, I'm excited to have you here for so many reasons. I mean, I don't know if you actually remember this, but my first job was at SABC2, and it was on a show called The Breakfast Club. And I don't know if we've actually spoken about this, but way back then, you had just launched your first album with Just Ginger, and you guys came on the show. And I'd worked my way up from being a literally runner who ran around doing everything to being guest liaison, which I was very excited about. And I got to look after you guys, and I just thought you were the coolest bunch of guys. And you gave me a signed copy of that first album of yours, and I listened to it until the poor CD literally, I think, just fell apart. But that was 20 years ago now, right?
That album is 25 years old.
Okay, so maybe you had already released it and you were doing So it was about 20 years ago. I know, because it was my first job, and I was just like fresh out of school, and I was so excited. I was like so thrilled, and I got to meet you guys, and it was back then that I fell in love with your music. And you're one of the artists that has consistently moved me with your music for the past 20 odd years. And I absolutely love that, because your songs, your lyrics are those songs and lyrics that people can literally dive into and go, yes, I feel that. I know that feeling. I've been there. I get it. And they can also dive into a celebration. And when your heart is broken, I mean, literally, I came to watch you, it was a year and a half ago when you were playing in town. And there I sat like snot crying in the audience. But it is, for me, that is what music is supposed to do. Music is supposed to connect to the soul. It's supposed to allow us to realize that we are actually all one, and we all go through the same things, and we all are the same thing. And the reason why I invited you here today is because you just keep going, and you just keep creating these amazing, beautiful songs that really connect with your audiences. And I thought, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about some of the things that maybe you feel have helped you to keep going over the years, and helped you to keep staying inspired and still connect with your audiences over and over again.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's a very sweet intro. It's very, very nice to hear that I've had such a long-standing effect on your life, and it's interesting to hear that it seems to be the same story with quite a few people. So I feel very privileged to have had that little journey, and it's definitely right place, right time. But it's been a remarkable aspect, for me to still be doing what I do. So yeah, you say you just keep going on. I don't really know what else to do. I've got other things and other ventures that I'm kind of doing, but music is kind of always there, and I see no reason to quit yet. People ask, is Just Ginger? When did Just Ginger break up? We're like, we haven't. We're just going through different things in our lives, and we're still around. We're still in touch. and there might be, I suspect there might be other things to come. That's a hint, by the way. But you know, so there's no need to stop, and it's not like any of us have done anything that untoward to each other that it has to have that kind of finality. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm just getting going in many ways. I've got other aspects of my life that are only building up to getting close to what I would like for myself. Am I hustling? Yes, the whole way. Do I know what I'm doing? Not a freaking clue. I don't have a clue what I'm doing at all, but I'm having the most fun. It's something that I'm honoring and that I pledged to myself long ago. As long as you're having fun and not harming too many people. And while I know that our third album wasn't the greatest, I don't think it's harmed that many people because it didn't sell too many. So it didn't really hurt too many people. So I'm having fun, you know, and I'm, as long as I can, I feel lucky, especially in this day and age, that I can still be doing what I'm doing. It's a gift.
It absolutely is. For those that are, because COVID, I think, I mean, it's been hard on everyone, obviously. It's been a challenge for absolutely everyone. But I think that the creative industry has been one of the industries that has been the most knocked. And for me, that's so ironic, because when we were told to go inside and isolate ourselves for 4 months, what did we need? We needed art. It was the music, it was the films, it was the artworks that got us through that time of isolation. So for me, I find that very ironic that now that is one of the industries that has been impacted the most out of all industries. What advice could you give to, or what thoughts can you maybe share with other artists? Because you have just kept going, and I know you hustle hard. And one of the things I really do admire about you is you're honest about it. You know, it's like you don't go, I'm fucking perfect. You go, no, I'm freaking, I'm battling and I'm
hustling,
I'm fighting. You know, where I want to be. But what are some of the things that maybe you could share specifically with artists that have been struggling through this time?
Well, first of all, it's imperative to be a very, very cunning lock picker, so that you can work your way into garages like this and sit in front of cars like this and make it look like you've really cracked it in life. So that's step one. Be a little bit. This is good advice. Okay, this is coming from the soul. Be nifty with the lockpick and learn your skills from a young age. Fortunately, coming from the bluff, that was something that kind of came with my matric report. That was a very cursory thing. No, seriously. So obviously the main thing, and this has not even got to do with musos. I think this is more of a message for everyone that people tend to lose sight of, especially because we are all gripped by this panic. People do seem to forget that we've always been okay. If you think about it, yes, are we panicking? Fucking absolutely, more than ever before. But you know, we've always been panicking. We've always been like, oh, I'm going through such a crazy time right now. This was pre-pandemic. Now we are going through an actual legitimate crazy time. And you know what? We were fine then. We're going to be fine now. Is it serious? Are we losing loved ones? Is it having proper mental health issues? Is it having an impact? Fuck sure. It definitely is. But we are going to be okay. And I think that would be the first message that I'd like to impart to anyone, you know, not only musos, just we have always been okay. We will, it's going to take some time to get used to it. There'll probably be a bit more, a little bit more like real stuff to have to deal with than in the past. But number one would be, we've always been okay and we're going to be.
Yeah, I really love that, because I'm also somebody who always tries to, you know, look at the broader picture and see the light. And it's like when we were going through the water crisis, everybody was freaking out and saying, we're going to run out of water. We're going to, you know, everything. And I said, no, we're going to be okay, because human beings, your camera's gone off. I don't know. Oh, it's back.
Okay, sorry.
So resourceful, aren't we? Like as humans, figure it out. Like we find a way, as difficult as it is, as challenging as it is. At the end of the day, we do somehow figure it out and we find a way.
Yeah, we always have. We haven't really been confronted with a real problem like we're going through at the moment. So in many ways, life has been a rehearsal for what we're going through right now. So but we are resourceful, and you know what we have to realize that this test has been put in front of us. It's unfortunately, it smacks of a lot of the sentiment of the strong will survive. And if we're here and we've survived so far, it means that we've already passed the tests up to this point, So there's all these aspects to be looking at as well. I'm quite cathartic when it comes to that. I'm like, if it's if it's my turn, it's my turn. Like we've got to be as strong as we can until we can't anymore. And so that's kind of what motivates me to just go on. What I won't do is stop living. I won't. I'm going to try not to get sucked into any particular field of thinking. From conspiracy to pure science. So I'm still trying to navigate my way around that. But what I'm not going to stop is living in between. So what we'll do, what I'll do is I choose to carry on living life, being as cautious as possible and as careful as possible, and mindful of other people's fears that are not mine as possible.
I think that that's also such an important one, because I, like you, am sitting in a very strong space of what is the real news, what is the fake news, like what is actually going on at the moment. And then also being, I hate wearing masks. I have to be honest with you. I'm claustrophobic and I freaking hate wearing masks. But I will do it to make other people feel more comfortable. So it's actually not really about me, but if I won't wear them sometimes. And if I see, for an instance, that somebody doesn't feel comfortable, then I'll put the mask on, because I don't want to,
Yeah, we got to do that.
Else feel uncomfortable. So I think it's a really good tip, because we are in this strange space where things are just fueled by fear. And even if we know where we at, having care for how other people are feeling and what space they're in, I think is such a essential part of being human right now.
Yeah, I think that should have been around before the pandemic. So just consideration is kind of where it's at. Realize that other people's fears and journey are not your own, and so if it makes other people feel safe that you have to wear a mask, I believe it's only for now. It's just for now, until people get an accumulative understanding of the gut truth of it all. At the moment, no one knows a freak what to believe at all. So just know that as you go out, and don't take offense by it, and realize that everyone's completely gripped by fear. And as much as you are pro or anti anything, just be respectful.
Yeah, I love that. That's really, really good. And in terms of, I don't even want to say reinventing yourself, because I don't think it's so much that. I think it's just staying connected over such a long career span, because you've had a great career, and I agree with you. I think that there's still so many incredible songs to come. So, and I love that, because so many people hit a #1 single or whatever, and they go, oh shit, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, it's tough when you start that high,
Yeah, and you have just gone, no, there's more. What do you think has helped you to have that mindset of like really just believing that there is more?
I wouldn't be able to single that out as to what exactly it is that's helped me have that mindset. I guess I've always kind of had that drive to want more, and to not settle for anything. Also, in many ways, what a lot of people believe the success should have been for Ginger Wee and for myself kind of hasn't been attained. It's been a low level success, which is huge in itself. But there's always a drive to test the boundaries and to see what's more. I think on my side, had it been any sooner or any greater in many other senses, I have no idea how damaging it would have been to my well-being, to be honest. If I think about the kind of loose cannon that I am, in general, but I've never really been self-destructive or anything like that. But I just wonder what I would do if I had access to stupid money and to stupid, all sorts of things. I do wonder. So these are things that I sit and go back, I think there's been a bit of self-preservation put in there by having some of these aspects not unlocked yet in my life, which I don't believe will ever be permanent. But I think in many ways I've been safeguarded by the levels of success that I've had, and that in itself keeps me striving for more. Now, I do want to test what more there is, but I must say ultimately if I just do a stock take of my life, it's like, damn, I'm pretty I'm pretty damn happy, I must tell you.
Yeah. So that belief is a belief, well, first of all, that the best is yet to come always. That's no matter what you're doing now, it's great, it's fantastic, enjoy the moment, but the best is still yet to come. There's always going to be something amazing that you can still create. Yeah.
I mean, whether it's amazing by whose comparison, who knows? Just I don't think get too caught up on the end result of it. I think the point is to continue and to create, and not always to have the end in mind. Just do it because it's cool, and if it brings on certain characteristics of perceived success, then so be it. But I just do it because that's why I'll never have writer's blocks, because I don't sit down and try and write. I only write when exactly the darn hell I want to. So how can you get blocked if that's when you write? So that for me is a fun liberation.
Yeah, you know what just came into my mind? I don't know if you know, there's a quote by someone, and I can't remember his name right now, which is perfect. But the point is, this quote is fantastic because it says that don't look at your life as an end goal, but look at it as a symphony and enjoy every note along the way. And
exactly.
You've actually just echoed that perfectly, and you're a musician, which makes it even. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Literally enjoying every note along the way. And that's actually such an important thing for all creatives, because so many creatives place so much importance. They're like, you're only as good as your latest job. You're only as good as your latest role or your latest release or whatever it is. But if you actually just are enjoying the journey and being creative within that space for the love of creating what you're creating, then it shifts everything, right?
Yeah, well, then you're no longer bound by what other people believe to be your most recent success or failure. When you're doing it on those grounds, then you liberated from that, which is pretty cool. I think it takes a while because we're always pressured by that, and whether we like to admit it or not, we are bound by it to quite a large degree. And it's like a practice. You have to learn to unlearn all those restrictions that have been placed on our lives subconsciously.
Yeah. But I really, really, really love that. Guys, I do see you all tuning in. Thank you so much, Brenda, Bertie, Mary, Frank, Callie, John, Tabojo, Oliver, Dr. Marv. Hello, everybody. If I don't say your names, I'm really sorry. Steffi, hello. Anup, hello. Garth, hello. Burma, hello. Kaios, hello, everybody. I'm so sorry again if I don't get to say all your names. Please remember to say hi. I'm tuning in from whichever country because I love giving shout outs to our international audience, that we've got a global community that joins us on Thrive.
Yeah.
It always makes
amazing.
Me so happy. I have to ask you, Art, because you literally are probably in I know the dream of every guy. Like you're literally standing in it at the moment. I just see fast cars behind you, and then there was a gym that I spotted around the corner as well. Yes,
yeah,
the gym as well. And I suppose all you need now is like a chill out area with some form of bar or something like that.
Yeah, that's up there. Most importantly is I don't need the police to come knocking at the door. I need to come and arrest me for breaking and entering. That's the main concern.
He's very much undercover, guys. We don't know where.
I'll drop you a pin now.
But is in a very happy place. So what would be one of the most important things you think you've learned in this pandemic over this last year? Something that has stood out for you?
Just a quick disclaimer, this is not my garage, all right? Just in case folks are wondering, just for those who are wondering, it is. I'd like to own it. Perhaps I'm just coming to do some shopping for how I'm going to manifest my later life. But this is not mine. What did I learn from this?
Yeah, just maybe something that has stood out for you as maybe a mind shift or something that,
Oof, yeah, big one, a good one. Like a big thing that happened for me, and I think it again applies to pretty much everyone, but I've also noticed that everyone has done this. I've done an incredible stock take of things that are important to me. And that is right down to the amount of times I said yes to going freaking anywhere, to going to brides that I don't want to freaking go to going to events that I don't give a shit about, and to saying yes to just about everything, partially because I feel like I'm semi-public property or whatever it is. But even right down to just cutting out people I thought were friends for the longest time. I love them forever, so nothing vicious or violent, but just a beautiful little sliding into the like these are my real people. And actually, to be honest, I am my real person, and it's been a wonderful journey into being comfortable with myself. So it's helped me really, really trim the fat in a lot of ways with that. So that's been the big thing that I've taken out of this. But I have noticed that it's been quite a general trend, because when times are tough, friends are few, as we know. So that is a blanket statement for all of us. So that's been a cool thing because it's really freed up my weekends. I love it. I mean, it's been rad. I've actually really loved it.
No, I actually completely resonate with what you're saying. And I think that it's been an incredible gift that has actually come with COVID, is that we've been able to refocus, first of all, on what's important to us, like truly important to us, and who are our real people. And I think that combination of things has shifted so many people, and it certainly has shifted me as well. I've stopped going to events. The majority of events, like I don't go to anymore. One blue moon, but and I haven't seen a lot of people either. I've stuck to myself. I've seen a few friends here and there, and my life is like calmed down in this really lovely way, actually, on a lot of levels. I'm still the crazy whirlwind that I think I'll always be. My energy, but in terms of also those demands, because we do get these demands, like be here, show your face here, and you feel that pressure to actually, I'm okay, you have fun, and that doesn't fit within what I actually need to make important in my life.
Yeah, it's been very liberating.
Yeah, very, very, very liberating. What else? Like, is there anything else you think you'd like to share? Because I think that it's been like just a lovely, it's always so great chatting to you because we always have such rich conversations. But is there something that maybe you want to share before I let you go?
Oh, it's so sweet. First of all, thanks for having me on, man. I'm proud of what you've done. You've knuckled down. I never realized that having really fast broadband would be so important. So I was over the moon when I finally got my fiber, 200 down, 100 up. I was like, yes, please. This is, it's weird. I did a show. I did online. I mean, obviously, I love shows. That's what I've done my whole life. But I'll share with you. I don't think I've shared on a public forum at all. But it's very weird. I know the industry is crashing, and we are the forgotten industry, and it's very sad. And I feel for everyone, including myself. I've got no work. So it's been heavy, but it's just crazy because it couldn't have come at a better time in my life, because I've also done so much of it. I'm so lucky. I've done so much. And I was sitting back going, shit, if this is actually how it is, I'm like, this is something that I might be able to make peace with. Obviously, I have to find an alternative, which we all have to. And I think a lot of musicians and a lot of sectors and industries have to learn how to deal with it and find alternatives. But that's just one thing. It's like a sense that overwhelmed me. I was like, shit, man, if that's also the end of that, it's cool. And then I did like a corporate show on Microsoft Teams to a wonderful company in Joburg. They had 140 people online, and I got my little studio in my other dungeon, not quite as elaborate as this, in fact, nowhere near. And I had my whole desk set up, and I had reverbs, and I had my guitar, and I'm so comfortable. I was sitting there on my grandfather's old lazy boy that I put like casters on. That's my new chair. And got my dog, and I had like a red wine over there, and I was like, shit, if this is the future of gigging, don't tell anyone, but I fucking love it. I don't need to see people. I don't have to go. I don't have to travel anywhere. I don't have to sound check. I don't have to sleep in a different bed. I don't have to remember my toothbrush. I don't have to make you know, just like all that effort to doing the shows. Don't get me wrong, I love doing what I've done. I'm very privileged to have done it, and I have many more scheduled. It's just, I'm just sharing with you, you know, something that I had a little moment. I was like, shit, if I could do every show from the safety of my dungeon. I think what was different is that I managed to see a lot of their comments, and they were sharing gifs and emojis, and I was like, shit, this is pretty interactive. And I was calling them out by name, and I had Jeff walked in, and he came and lay under my chair, and he let off the biggest fart, and it was so stinky, and it was so raw and natural, and people were loving it. Well, I hope they were loving it. There were a lot of smiley emojis. My emojis weren't quite as smiley, but I'm just saying, like, I was just sitting there going, fuck, you know what, if this is the future, I'm in. Like, I'm just going to try and take it onto the boat and see if I can take one step forward and do this from the safety of the captain's helm. That'll also be pretty rad. And so that's what I've learned. I'm actually okay with it. Obviously we love that human element. That'll always, but I don't crave it as much. Again, I've had a very enchanted, privileged life in that regard. So it's probably easier said than done for me. I know a lot of people are really struggling, but when I do see people going, damn, just to feel the sense of the live people there doing the applause, I'm like, sorry, man, I don't quite feel your pain right now. Like, I'm not as desperate as some people are. So yeah, that's just been an interesting observation. It's neither here nor there.
You know, you were saying like they're not hearing the applause of the crowd and that, and I totally get that, but there is still feedback. I can see these people online.
Yeah, I'm happy. You just send your comments, send your gifts. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Acting, like, you can see. And actually, one of the crazy things for me, Art, is, I mean, you know, I had radio shows because you were on my radio shows before.
Yeah.
I'm reaching a global audience now, whereas before I had a small global audience, but my audience was South African. Now I literally have people tuning in from all over the world, from India, from Scandinavia.
Correct. It's beautiful.
Like, it's just, it's amazing. And all of a sudden the world has become so small. We're just connected. It's, you know, and
it's pretty rad.
It's really rad. There's great gifts in this. As much as there's challenges, there's great gifts.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm seeing the positives. I must say, and again, yeah, I'm said slightly more fortunate than perhaps, yeah. Like, I would hate to be an up and coming artist at this moment. You know, well, that said, if you're clever enough and you on social media and you got all the tools that they have, and if you're smart enough, there's, you know, it's ripe for the taking wherever you're positioned. So I just feel fortunate that I was able to step back and not be as devastated by what was ripped away. You know, that said, my heart goes out to people who that was all they lived for. It was a complete bread and butter. So I'm very lucky in that regard. Yeah. But it's been interesting just making do.
Yeah. What is a way that people can support artists, singers, songwriters, you know, musicians, artists right now? Like, are there a lot of virtual concerts still going on, or is there?
Yeah. So I think the coolest way you can, because now all of a sudden we've become creators. So you're a creator, just a content creator, as you've been for so long. Now, being an online content creator can get rewarded in different ways, whether it's a Patreon account, or if you can, you know, you have supporters on Facebook. They can even send you stars. I have people sending me stars on my little podcast that I do on my Facebook profile. So there are ways to get involved, but weirdly, the easiest one, you can send stars. So stars is like a Facebook currency. Yeah. And so if you buy 100 stars, if you give 99 of those stars away to the creator gets, if you give 100 stars, the creator gets 99 of them. So Facebook takes a very tiny little portion, but it's like their currency that you can give them. So if you go and check out some of my posts on exactly, you need to activate your stars, girl. You need to get on there.
My stars.
Have you not done that yet? You got to monetize your Facebook, girlfriend. Where you been? Where you got to do that immediately. So you can have people can become monthly supporters for like $79.99, or they can just give you stars. And I must say, I've had some money coming from Facebook instead of me sending it to them. And so that's been an interesting way. But what I was going to say is the cheapest way for you to help a content creator share it. Just share it. Just say, here we go. This is a Kev thing. Press the little share button and go, this is a cool interview that I saw Ard and Susanna do, or any of our individual podcasts around it. So there's many ways to support creatives, and that is the cheapest. But also you can, yeah. I mean, I don't charge for my shows. I prefer people to donate if they want to. So they've got the stars function. If they dig it, send money, because not most people can't. So I've tried doing where you buy per ticket, and it just feels weird. I don't think people should be paying in a virtual space to partake in that. That's just me right now. They could change tomorrow. That's been my experience. So there are ways of supporting, but sharing is the easiest, the most effective, and the cheapest.
I agree with you so much. I mean, for everybody watching, thank you so much, first of all, for tuning in. Deeply appreciate your support. But I don't think many of you realize what a difference it makes when you actually comment, when you tag friends, when you like and share a post. Like, that helps us so much as content creators, literally, because Facebook and Instagram have these crazy algorithms, and 3%, if you've reached 10,000, which I have on all of my platforms or more, like Art has as well on his platforms, only 3% of your audience actually sees what you're doing, unless there is a lot of interaction, and that requires liking, commenting, and sharing. That's the only way to do it.
Correct.
We can't do it ourselves. So
please do that. Please do that.
All we can do is bring you cool content and say, please tag people, share, help us reach more people. Because at the end of the day, both of us do work because we want to connect with people. We want to help people feel good, feel things, and so it's up to you guys to help us spread that around. Spread that shit around. Spread that love and light.
Spread it. Press them like buttons. Press the button. Press it.
And I'm totally going to check out this Activate Stars situation.
Go to your business center. Go Facebook Business Center, or you got your creative studio. Go check that out.
I will definitely. You see, now you taught me something profound here today. Thank you.
You see, this old pirate nerd will teach you a thing or two still, love.
So much still to grow. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your beautiful light and, this time with me. I always enjoy chatting to you. It's always so great and meaty and filled with value bombs. And so I appreciate you taking the time to connect with me and our audience here tonight. Thank you, my friend.
What a pleasure. Send me the link and I will share it on my Facebook. And well done for carrying on and persevering and doing what you do. I think it's important, and sending you lots of love. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you as well. I'm gonna log off, but I need to get a screen grab of you and me. So don't go anywhere.
All right. I ain't going nowhere.
One of you watching, thank you. I'm trying to wave at all of these waves that are coming in. So much love to each and every one of you. Remember to like, share, tag friends. That's what helps us reach more people. Lots of blessings and light to you guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Cool. Okay, grab a screen grab of us that we can use for the Insta, and then one that we can use for the Facebook. Oh, my hair's doing such interesting.
You look fabulous, don't you worry.
Okay, and then I just want to change the format of this. There we go. And one more, yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, darling, thank you. Thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate it, man.
It's such a pleasure, and thank you for letting me interrupt your evening. It was
all good.
An incredibly fun place, and I hope you have an amazing time with everyone.
I think we should. Now it'll be good. It's still a school night, for us sailors.
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
I'll text you later. Cheers, darling. Bye, lovey. Bye.